seed of understanding in him and her. And because the Bodhisattva has this seed of understanding, the Bodhisattva is able to understand the suffering of himself, of herself, as well as having the understanding of suffering of other people. And when we can understand our own suffering and touch the suffering of other people, the nectar of compassion in us is born. And from this compassion, it gives rise to loving kindness. We would like to invite all of us to come back to ourselves in this very moment, to connect to ourselves. We may recognize that there is some suffering, some pain that is also inside of us. But we don't become afraid of it. But with the energy of mindfulness, we can recognize it and embrace it. We invite ourselves to be aware of the suffering. Let the suffering be present, but with the energy of the collective mindfulness by our own practice and the practice of the community, all of our friends that are joining us today, we can embrace this suffering and we can have more understanding for ourselves. We need to learn again to also love and care for ourselves. Be gentle, have some tenderness for ourselves. And as we continue to practice, we can bring our understanding and our compassion, and we send it to someone who is close to us that needs our love and compassion. He or she may be next to us, on our right, on our left, in front of us, or behind us. Or he or she may not be with us, but we can still generate this understanding and send this love and compassion that we practiced this morning to our beloved. We know that as a human, love is an essential energy that helps us. So let us send this compassion and this love to someone that we know that needs it right here, right now. And we can continue to take this practice a little bit further. We know that there is suffering not only in the human species, but there's also suffering all around in this globe, in this climate, in our planet. And we send this stillness, this peace, and this compassion a little bit everywhere, so that this nectar of kindness, of compassion, can touch these places. In this practice, when we chant from our hearts. And when we listen, we also listen with our hearts. And with this practice, it can help heal and transform the suffering in the present moment. And if we need to cry, this is a safe place to cry. These tears can be tears of healing, reconciliation. So dear friends, please sit comfortably at home in this meditation hall. Come back to our breathing. Connect to ourselves as we connect to all living beings in this very moment. Dear brothers, dear sisters, Thử máy nha. Testing, testing. I have arrived. I'm home. In the here, in the now. I'm solid. I'm free. In the ultimate I dwell. Is it okay, brother, sisters? Yeah, I will wait for your introduction.
Dear respected teachers of many generations and traditions, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, Today we are lucky to have a chance to receive a Dharma talk from an elder brother of our community who is currently residing in central Vietnam to help take care of our teacher Thai. He came from Vietnam to the Netherlands when he was still a child, and he ordained as a monastic in Plum Village in 1993. For many in the community, he is a source of inspiration as he radiates the energy of mindfulness. He takes time to contemplate things deeply, including the matter of birth and death. Thank you for offering us the talk today, dear Thai Phap. So, dear community, with the next sound of the small bell, we are invited to stand up and welcome our Dharma teacher.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddhaya. Dear respected Thai, dear beloved community, dear friends all over the world on this beautiful Mother Earth. Today is the 1st of August 2021. We are in Yiu Cham Nunnery, descendants of our root temple to Hill, where Thai is staying. And at this moment, we are connected because we are all children of Mother Earth. And we are connected because we are capable of dwelling in the here, in the now. And that is our connecting point. Today we will talk about touching eternity, touching the ultimate, relating to our deepest desire, the ultimate concern. And by touching our true nature, we can take care for our suffering, our birth and our death. Actually, birth and death are necessary for life. Without birth, there is no death. And without death, there is no birth, no life at all. But what creates suffering is our way of looking, our way of perceiving birth and death. So by understanding how we perceive our existence, our birth and our death, we know how to take care for the suffering created by our wrong idea about birth and death, and at the same time, by touching the nature of birth and death deeply, we touch our true nature of unborn, undying. We can dwelling happily in ourselves, in the present moment, like we can ride on the waves of suffering without being drowned by suffering. So today, step by step, together, we will inquire, we will look deeply with the energy of mindfulness, concentration, insight, in order to discover another perspective of our existence. So in the previous Dharma talks, the ceremony, touching of the earth, the Dharma sharing, and so on, we have been in touch with the insight that being, our existence, is at the same time interbeing, interconnectedness. Thai used to say, being is interbeing. So our existence is possible thanks to all that is, including our ancestors. Over many generations, uninterrupted transmission and receiving. So that is the insight we have been able to touch. And we would like to nourish this insight, to keep it alive. And we have been encouraged to eat with our beloved ones, to walk with our beloved ones. I have arrived. I'm home in the here, in the now. I'm solid, I'm free. In the ultimate, I dwell. So with the insight of interbeing, with mindfulness of interconnectedness, we dwell in the present moment, freely and solidly. We dwell in our true home. We dwell in the ultimate. So our birth here a bee, our birth is possible thanks to the transmission of our ancestors, uninterrupted, and is possible thanks to our people in our country is possible thanks to humans living on earth. We belong to a big human family, and it's possible thanks to all beings living on this beautiful planet. And beyond our planet is possible thanks to the galaxies, the cosmos. So seen in this light of interbeing, our birth is a wonder of life, a wonderful manifestation. But without a separate self being, a separate self soul, a separate self. But most of us, we perceive our birth as a separate self entity. Our existence just begin here. And therefore, we are nothing. And by perceiving our existence in that way, we create suffering for ourselves and for each other as humans. Struggle for life because we see ourselves as a separate self-entity. We see ourselves, I am only this body. I am only these feelings. I am only these perceptions. I am only these mental formations. And I am only this consciousness. And this mind that is grasping and that is pushing away what is not mine. Struggle for life. So our being is limited. In this time, from our birth to our death. That is how we perceive our existence, by seeing our being as a separate self-entity. But in reality, it is not like that. In reality, there is always exchange in breath and out breath. So please try, everyone, with our hands. So when we breathe in, we see that we receive life from so-called outside, the fresh air, the trees, the oceans, the people, Mother Earth, including our galaxies, and also inside, not only outside, inside our lungs. Those lungs are our parents' lungs as well, our ancestor lungs as well, and the lungs of evolution on earth, of all beings as well. So there is input from all directions to have this in-breath. Try it, close our eyes, and open to receive nourishment from within and from outside. And we can invite our beloved one, so-called death, also to breathe in with us, to receive nourishment from all walks of life. It is wonderful, isn't it? So we dwell in the present moment, we receive all nourishment, and now we exchange. We would like to offer our gratitude, our love, our support back to all walks of life, including our ancestor, our beloved one in us. So try. So there's an exchange of flow. Thank you so much to practice together. Then we profit from the collective energy of everyone residing in 5 continents and in 48 countries. So each of us is receiving that collective energy. And we send out that collective energy again. So it's very powerful. Practicing together. So we can see that each moment of our life That is, for example, this moment, that is input, nourishment from all walks of life, and at the same time, there is output, that is exchange, that is offering. So we see ourselves here, so-called circle, but we see ourselves here as well, isn't it? That is a miracle of life to see this. So Thais used to say, pointing at Thai, if you see me only in this body, sitting there talking to us, then you don't see myself completely yet. I'm not only sitting here, but I'm sitting everywhere with those I have been in touch, with those I have been exchanged with. Isn't it? So the same with our beloved ones, with ourselves. We are already in each other, and we continue each other in every moment. One day, at the farewell of the monastic retreat in Plum Village, the brothers have been hosting the sisters from Lower Hamlet, from New Hamlet, from Maison de l'Inspire Paris, from EIB from Germany. So at the end of the retreat, bye-bye, some tears, some missing. And then one brother said, thanks to impermanence, then we continue each other. We carry each other further. If there is no impermanence, there is no continuation. There is no life. There is no growth, no enrichment. So impermanence is very, very necessary for life. Thanks to impermanence, we continue each other. We enrich each other. And we are always together. And that is another perspective to look at impermanence. Yesterday, Sister Hoi Ngim have said about the 16 exercise of mindfulness training, of mindfulness of breathing. 16. Mindful breathing. And she shared about the first 8. And today, we will continue. But we continue with the last 4. And we can see
the 16 exercises, they they link to each other. So the first 4 about body, and the next 4 about feelings, the next 4 about mental formations, and the last one is about what we are learning today. So contemplating about, this is the exercise number 13. Contemplation of impermanence. So life, all that is a flow, continue. It continue inside as it, as uh, as a as it is. It's innate, but it's also continue because of the input, intervene. So we need to see impermanence in that light. If we see impermanence only in this light of linear flow, then we may perceive it as a separate self entity, as a separate self soul. It continues to live while living, while being, and after death. We call it non-being. So, if we perceive impermanence life in a linear way only, then there is a perception of a being, separate self, separate soul that continue after non-being. But if we see impermanence in the light of interbeing, input and output is a more complete picture going along with the reality. So we see ourselves here, but we see ourselves at the same time here. Yeah. If in the relationship of mother with children, father with children, then we see parents here, and we see parents in the children at the same time. We see the children here, we see the children in the parents at the same time. Isn't it? That is more complete way. We see in a relationship between husband and wife. Husband is here, wife is here. We see they are in each other as well. There is no separation, even after so-called death. Because there is, in every moment in their relationship, exchange, nourishment. The 14 exercises of mindful breathing is contemplation, the nature of no grasping. So we see every forms of life has the nature of impermanence, is a flow. We cannot grasp. We cannot say, this is me, this is mine. We still can love, can treasure, can take care, but we are free. We remain our freedom, and also we offer our beloved ones freedom space. We support each other in that loving relationship. And we allow the nature of interbeing relating to impermanence to nurture each other. Like the cloud is nature, is nurturing the rain. The rain is nurturing all forms of life, and all forms of life is offering support back to water, to the cloud. So there is supporting each other. And the 15th exercise of mindful breathing is touching. The true nature, our true nature. Of unborn, undying. Unborn here, we need to understand it in another light. Usually, when a child cannot manifest a miscarriage, we say an unborn child. But in Buddhist term, unborn means the moment of our birth is not a beginning of our existence. The moment of our birth is only a continuation of our existence. We continue our ancestors. We continue all forms of life on earth, and we continue all forms of life beyond our earth, the cosmos. And that means unborn. I hope you get it. Yes, if you get it, please smile. I'm looking at you. Wonderful to see your smile. It's good to understand it first. Yeah. Understanding gives us inspiration to put into practice. But the practice is very crucial. Understanding needs to be applied in our daily life. So yesterday and in the previous Dharma talk, we are encouraged to eat for our ancestors, to nurture our ancestors within us. So we need to do it. We need to try it out. It's like we need to train ourselves to do bicycling when we are young. Falling, stand up, try it. Yeah? So maybe from now on, we set a schedule of trying this inside out, put into practice. A schedule, a daily schedule, eating, walking, breathing, our daily activity. Taking a shower, everything can nurture our understanding by our true experience, our own direct experience. It gives us energy, trust, confidence. I have tasted it. Yeah? Would you like to do it? Daily schedule. You may like to choose a distance in your living environment, maybe 10 meters, and make a commitment. Anytime I'm walking from that point to that point of that distance, I would like to walk in the present moment, in the here, in the now, dwelling in my true nature. I'm walking with my beloved ones. I'm walking with my ancestors. Yeah? I have arrived home home, smiling, and taste it. I'm walking with my father. I'm walking for my mother. I'm walking with my descendants. I'm walking with Thai, with our community. I'm walking with my beloved ones. I'm walking with so-called deceased beloved ones. Nurture the inside of togetherness. So we are touching our true nature of unborn, undying, by using the insight of impermanence, continuity, continuation. We continue our ancestors. And we're using the insight of interbeing between us and our ancestors, our beloved ones, with life. Life is also us, all forms of life. So touching the fresh air, walking with fresh air, walking with Mother Earth. And we can be ourselves. We dwell peacefully and happily in ourselves in the present moment. Touching that inside of unborn, we are touching the inside of undying at the same time. Because when we don't have a separate self entity, then there is no so-called the end of us, our death. Touching the inside of interbeing, unborn, we see ourselves a little bit everywhere. In the past, in the present moment, and in the future. Yeah? So let's see. This is our birth. By touching ourselves in the light of interbeing, of continuation, we touch ourselves in this direction. In our ancestors. And our ancestors are here with us at the same time. So we extend our view, our perception about ourselves. And at the same time, we touch ourselves in this direction of the future, of our descendants. our descendants continue us. And our descendants also here in us. And then we touch ourselves in all forms of life. We need a break, a technical break. So let's enjoy a sound of the bell. Would we like to hear a song, a poem written by Thai? Please call me by my true names. I would like to invite one of our sisters here, or more sisters, to sing it in English and also to sing it in Vietnamese. Please call me by my true name. My joy like spring so warm. It makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain like a river of tears, so vast. It fills the four oceans. Please call me by my true names, so I can hear all my cries and laughter at once. So I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true name, so I can wake up and the door of my heart could be open, the door of compassion. Mình đứng lên để quay.
My joy like spring so warm.
It made flowers bloom over the earth. My pains like a rivers of tears. So vast it fills the four oceans. Please call me by my true name, so I can hear all my cries and laughter as one, so I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true names, so that I can wake up and the door of my heart could be left open. The door of compassion. Rồi mình hát tiếng Việt nha. Mời xem Hải chiếu. So we can see Thai, our ancestors in the brothers and sisters, and in you as well, in all forms of life.
Đau buồn một dòng sông nước mắt chảy ra tràn đại dương, mang theo ngàn muôn sông. Lòng này nhiều khi vui tươi thắm, sáng như ngàn hoa giữa nắng xuân hồng. Gọi thân tên tôi khắp mỗi lần buồn, để tôi được nghe tất cả một lần mà thôi, để tôi nghe buồn vui là buồn. Gọi thân tên tôi khắp mỗi lần buồn, để tôi thương tình lòng từ bi mở ra khắp nơi chan hòa.
Thêm lần nữa cười hát.
Đau buồn một dòng sông nước mắt chảy ra tràn đại dương, mang theo ngàn muôn sông. Lòng này nhiều khi vui tươi thắm, sáng như ngàn hoa giữa nắng xuân hồng. Gọi thân tên tôi khắp mỗi lần buồn, để tôi được nghe tất cả một lần mà thôi, để tôi nghe buồn đâu là buồn. Gọi thân tên tôi khắp mỗi lần buồn, để tôi thương tình lòng từ bi mở ra khắp nơi chan
In that poem written by Thai, please call me by my true names. There are sentences like, don't say that I will go tomorrow. Go mean die. Don't say that I will go tomorrow. Because at this very moment, today, I still become. I go in all kind of directions, exchange. So we are dying, we are going like a firework, like a ripened dandelion flower with many seeds. Many seeds, many dandelions in every moment by our three actions: our thinking, our way of looking at things, thinking, perceiving things, our speech, and our bodily action. And if we touch the inside of our true self in the light of interconnectedness, we are each other, then we can direct our three actions, our volition, our thinking, our speech, and our bodily action in the light of supporting, protecting, nourishing, healing. And in the current situation of our humanity, we see we are so much linked to each other. We need each other in many aspects. And we learn from the lessons. We learn from our suffering. And we need to allow the courage to open our heart, open our compassion, our insight in the way of interconnectedness in order to embrace the pain, the suffering, and to make an aspiration to heal, to support, and to live for each other. Let's breathe together. As one body. And in that poem, please call me by true names. There are sentences inside of Thai. My coming and my going are in every breath. the rhythm of my birth and death goes along with the heartbeat of all beings, of all that is, of the entire cosmos. So touching our true nature of unborn, undying, we come back to ourselves, true self. And from there, we take care for the wrong perception about ourselves. It's nothing wrong with the wrong perception about ourselves. It's part of our journey, of our training. We fall, we stand up where we fall. And that's so wonderful to learn from our mistakes, from our suffering, including suffering of wrong perception about our death. So painful, so desperate. It touched the core of our existence, existential crisis. It's okay to suffer like that deeply. That is an opportunity for us to see death in the true reality of it. To see our death in the light of continuation, of interbeing, and of undying, dwelling peacefully and happily in ourselves while living, exchanging in every moment, going in direction every moment, and even while we are dying, so-called the end of our life, we still dwell peacefully, happily in ourselves, and still interconnected with our beloved ones. We don't go everywhere, anywhere. That is good news, isn't it? When my father died in 1997 in Holland, I was in France, in Plum Village. Thai and our community supported our family. Thai Phap and I flew to Holland to support my father and the whole family. We did sitting, chanting, reading sutras. We sat together and we said about Father still alive in us. And Thai Phap also transmitted the 5 mindfulness trainings to the whole family, including my father. The 5 mindfulness trainings are the expression of the insight of interbeing. The 5 mindfulness trainings are expression of real compassion, expressing the inside of our true self. The first mindfulness training is about protecting of life, all forms of life. That means to protect ourselves. The second one is true happiness, is to see we are wonderful as we are. The third one is true love, loving in a deep way, in a responsible way, and in a free, supported way. And the third one is loving speech and deep listening. And the fifth one is mindful consumption. At the moment of cremation, the coffin of my father could be home again. The car with the coffin was parking on the parking lot, and we chanted Namo Avalokiteshvara in Vietnamese. Namo Bồ Tát Quang Thế Âm. 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 Namo Tát Quang Thế Âm. It was in March in Holland, clouded, and suddenly the sun broke through the cloud and shone exactly on my father's coffin. And everyone like, oh, auspicious. And in me there was awareness. Oh, Father is the sun. Father is life. Father is here and now. So there was peace. I could come back to my breathing and feel peaceful. At the same time, feeling the suffering in the body, feeling the suffering in my family. So there was two kind of feeling together: suffering, peace, joy. Joy because Father is still here. They are together and they take care for each other. The suffering has the support of peace, of insight, of joy. And the joy, the peace, the insight of interbeing between me, my father with life, take care for the suffering. And I start to realize, okay, when I walk, dwelling in my breathing, in my step, I walk with Father. I walk for my Father. My Father is here. And I don't even need to make effort. There was no effort at all. There was just a peaceful energy of supporting. And I allow myself, I allow my father, my family to be embraced by that inside of inner being, embraced by the inside of unborn, undying. I don't have to grasp on my father. Please, Father, stay with us. I don't have to do it. I didn't have to do it. Because Father is here and now. Father is dwelling in His true nature of unborn, undying. And I have learned from Thai, supported by the Sangha, also to dwell in the here, in the now. I have arrived, I'm home. And from that space of peace, of joy, of supporting, I could embrace the collective energy of sadness, of missing, of deep pain of my family, my mother, my sisters, my brothers, and even my father's friends. The last exercise of 16 mindfulness, 16 exercises of mindful breathing is letting go. Our perception of a limited lifespan. This limited lifespan from our birth to our death is a product of our wrong perception of a separate self. I only begin here and I will end here. So by seeing us as a continuation in the direction of our ancestors, in the direction of all forms of life, we free ourselves, unborn, no begin, and therefore no end. In many directions, in every moment, like a dandelion, like a sunflower, us as humans like that. So we open our self, our life, limitless life, and we dwell in our true nature of unborn, undying. We have arrived, we are home. We dwell in infinity, here and now. We come back to ourselves. In your tradition, we may say we come home to God, dwelling in God, in the here, in the now. We will end in about 10 minutes. So we are on time for the next activity. When we are supporting a dying person, or we are supporting a sick person, it's very crucial to come back to our true self, to come home in ourselves, to offer ourselves a sense of stability, of freedom, non-fear, to embrace the suffering of sickness, of fear of dying. We can water the good positive seeds in that person, like the sisters have said in the previous Dharma talks, to strengthen, to make the person happy, to be able to support that person to cope with suffering within them. So the first step is to water the seed of positive seeds in them, to tell them the good memories, to water the good characters in them. And second, we can also say sorry. So sorry to them if we have made mistakes, so they feel loved, they feel supported, and they can feel at ease. And next, we can guide them to come back to their true self, to see that they are not only this sick body, this dying body, they are more than that. They are also us. They are also their family. They are alive in the present moment, always supporting them. They are their ancestors present within them. So they come back to their inside of unborn, undying. They can dwell happily, peacefully in themselves, even they are suffering. But they have a refuge, they have a home in them. They can dwell. And we can support them by our practice, by our words, our songs. Like, I have arrived, I'm home, in the here, in the now, I'm solid, I'm free, in the ultimate I dwell. Or in your tradition, in some tradition you can say, you are coming home in God, in Allah, within you. So they can dwell peacefully. And we can guide them. When they are dwelling peacefully, they are still connected with their family. They don't go anywhere, but they dwell in them true home, true self, in the kingdom of God, here in now, the pure land here and now. And that I have done as a community, as brothers and sisters, for a friend in Australia. I remember dying in the presence of her husband and her family. I would like to read Thai's poem. The title is Oneness. The moment I die, I will try to come back to you as quickly as possible. I promise it will not take long. Isn't it true? I'm already with you. As I die each moment, I come back to you in every moment. Just look, feel my presence. If you want to cry, please cry. And know that I will cry with you. The tears you shed will heal us both. Your tears are mine. In this current situation of destruction of caused by COVID-19 and also devastation, natural disasters, is so crucial to dwell in our true home, in our true nature of unborn, undying. Mother Earth is going through different situations together with us as well. She's doing her best to recover. She's still there for us and with us, nourishing us. The question is, do we have the trust, the capacity to dwell peacefully, happily, and firmly in the inside of interconnectedness, inside of interbeing, in order to be ourselves, in order to, on one side, to relate to the suffering, but on the other side, to get the nourishment needed in every moment, to take care for the suffering. So we are more than our suffering. We are more than our difficult current situation. And one time, Thai have said, I have 1,000 years for you. Or I have 1,000,000 years for you. Because Thai is capable of dwelling peacefully, happily, and compassionately in his true nature of unborn, undying. And our ancestors, they are always there supporting us. Life is always there supporting us. 3 more minutes. So the inside of suppose there is this moment A, and the next moment we call it B. So this A moment, this B moment, there is a connection. So B, the next moment, is not the same with the A moment. That is the inside of not the same. But the B moment is not different from the A moment. The inside of not different. This inside of not the same, neither different, help us to be free. So this B moment gives us a new chance to take care for the situation. We have always a new opportunity because we don't identify ourselves with the present situation. So freedom, new chance. And we see that the B moment is not different than the A moment, then we have a link, a responsibility, compassion to take care, because we see we interact. And this freedom and compassion give us eternity, limitless life, time to take care for ourselves and for life. We plant it in the present moment for the future. Through the suffering, we plant it of togetherness, of compassion, of the way out for our future. So the present moment make of mindfulness, concentration and insight. This present moment is embracing the 3 times. The past, the present, and the future. So I have arrived, I'm home in the here, in the now, in the present moment, in mindfulness, concentration, insight. I'm solid, I'm free in the ultimate I dwell. In order to nurture ourselves and to heal ourselves through times. Please allow me 1 more minute and then we conclude here because there's so eagerness to share with you this poem I have written. in Vietnamese and translate into English. The title is An Trụ or An Trú, dwelling. Mây trắng thông dong từ thuở nào, vào ra sinh tử lẽ tất nhiên. Không nắm, không buông, lòng an trụ. Đã về, đã tới, bây giờ, ở đây. White cloud has been free since none began. Coming, going, being born, dying are my nature. No grasping, no letting go. Always dwelling peacefully. I have arrived. I'm home in the here, in the now. Thank you for our beloved community, our friends, and all conditions making this retreat possible. And we continue today, tomorrow, and forever together with our ancestors and our descendants and all walks of life. Take care and please do homework. Don't forget our daily schedule.